Okay, so this video is gonna be a little different. We're gonna kind of drop the quality a little bit and just have some fun doing some chores around the studio. There's a bunch of stuff that is kind of piled up that I need to address, and I figured I'd just go ahead and vlog it, if you will. So I've got my list right here. Let's go ahead and head over to my desk and get started. So the first thing I want to do is address cleaning up my desk. This actually is not bad at all. This is very clean for me. But before we move on, I figured this would be a great excuse to go ahead and tidy things up. So let's go ahead and put some things away. I need to finish setting up my desk setup that I'd done a video on. I made some modifications, coming along beautifully. And then here we have the new Fuji X-A7. Really excited to try this out for YouTube because of the massive flip out screen. Let's go ahead and put that away. Addicted to these, need to stop eating as many as I do. Two things I almost always have stuck in my pockets or on my desk is stinking lens caps and SD cards. Okay, so got everything cleaned up. At this point, I need to finish up this edit for the S1 guide trailer. So let's go ahead and knock that out real quick. Okay, so now for the real project of the day, and that's gonna be dealing with this room. This room has been a little bit of everything. I kind of figured it would be a mess like this a lot of the time. It's a place where we can put gear, store stuff that we might need, and it's gotten a little out of hand, so we're gonna kind of sort some of that stuff out. So in short, we've got these IKEA shelves here, which house a bunch of bins filled with all kinds of things like NATO rails and clamps, or 15mm rods, power plates, camera handles, D-tap power cables, gobo heads and grip heads, things like that. Even some cameras in here, some boxes, and we have this wall or this board for our power. So what we're gonna do is sort all this stuff. This isn't bad here, but there's things like foam board here leaning up that are blocking the door. We've got junk down here that we need to sell. There's bins with who knows what here in this big storage unit. This isn't very efficient. And then there's stuff like this round LED light that I did a video on recently when it came to that backpack setup. What do we do with that? What do we do with its accessories? So we just need to deal with this. So we're just gonna go ham, start pulling stuff out, sort all of this, put this battery board right up here. Let's get started. Post-production editing Caleb here, and I totally forgot to mention that we are doing a special sale over at the Academy. So if you want to save 30% on all of the guides, you can check that out via the link in the description using that coupon code. The sale ends Monday. Enjoy. Okay, so we have finished this room. I got everything all nice, cleaned up, organized, so we can actually find stuff on this unit here. And then all these puppies got kind of reset up. So we have this area over here, which will be kind of our charging area for all our batteries. We've got some more storage up there. And then all the gear and specifically rigging here in the center. So I can come in here, bring a camera with me, start building something for a video. So next we're going to deal with a little sound problem. So this space isn't too bad when it comes to reverberation and some other stuff, but it definitely needs a little bit of help. And the problem we're having is I use a lot of shotgun microphones, usually super cardioid. And those microphones usually have a little bit of a tail on the back in that they pick up sound behind the microphone. And so what's happening is my voice is going through this space, hitting the ceiling, and then kind of it's recording and making some weird sounds because of ceiling reverberation. Now I could go with a cardioid microphone that would only capture sound from the front, but that's a wider pickup pattern and there's some noise in this building and outside of this building, so I try to really have a tight pickup pattern when possible. So to help us out, I'm going to be putting sound blankets on the ceiling where this microphone is going to end up. And if my assistant pans over there, you'll notice we have a ton of them in that end of the space, all the way over there in the corner. So you'll see there's a lot of blankets on the ceiling and it makes a huge difference. Over here where we have our desk set up, which you've seen in recent videos, we don't have that. So I'm gonna put two of these blankets, the last two I have left, on the ceiling roughly where this microphone is going to end up, and it should make a difference when it comes to sound. Now, these sound blankets are actually the exact same thing as my huge sound blankets, which I've done a video on kind of how I built these ridiculously huge rolling panels. So it's the exact same thing, and they're actually designed to be 2 by 4 feet, which also perfectly fits most office ceilings like these drop ceilings. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these up. Rats. All right, so there is one, couple more clips, and then we'll do a second one right over here. And just like that, we've got 2 panels, and it's gonna work great with our microphone setup. By the way, if you haven't seen it, I did a video talking about this stand that holds an arm that's really easy to work with when it comes to setting up your audio. And I'll link to the blankets as well as this awesome new Deity microphone, the S-Mic 2S, in the description if you want to check those out. But right now, it's the main microphone I'm using for all the videos. Next, I'm gonna start working on updating all the computers. Now, embarrassingly, we are still running on High Sierra. And there's a good reason though. Whenever I'm updating a machine, I wanna make sure that there's nothing it needs to access because that can be really detrimental if you're in the middle of a huge editing project and you update your computer. That means you often need to update Final Cut, and things can go wrong, and they have gone wrong for me in the past. So we're gonna make a huge leap from High Sierra up to Catalina. So gonna get started on that. Of course, backups are really important, and then making sure everything's hunky-dory. So we're gonna start with computer number 1, the assistant editor desk, and then we'll go over and knock out my computer. That moment when you're really hoping that turns into something and doesn't just hang there. And with that, we have the computers updated. It's the next day. Clearly, I'm wearing something different. It took forever, but we're good to go. Feels great having everything backed up, updated, and we're in between big projects, which that's exactly how I like to have it. So for lens organization, I've been trying to come up with a way that we can keep our old lenses stored, but also have a bunch available to grab at any moment. And since I don't really have one system that I use Fuji, Sony, Canon, Panasonic. So I like to have them out and ready to rock and roll. And I found these Lazy Susans, and I think it's gonna be a great solution for lenses. I already have a couple, bought a few more. I'm gonna go ahead and set them up, and I can have, Fuji lenses, Sony lenses, etc. And just like that, we have all the lenses all lined up. So that'd be really nice. If we just need to grab something real quick, we can just kind of run up and snag the lens that we need. Next on my list is to go ahead and start testing this light, which I think is a very exciting fixture. So this, I'll have my assistant walk around here so you can kind of see through this grid here. This is the 120 TDX from Falcon Eyes. And if you walk around to the side, you'll start to see that this is a very thin, massive light mat. So this is actually a 4 foot by 4 foot LED light mat by color, and it is stupid bright. Right now it's turned way down, but it comes with a lot of accessories. So you can kind of imagine it as a very lightweight moving 4x4 source. You could use it as a fake window. There are so many uses. So I'm gonna use my Sekonic spectrometer to go ahead and measure this thing. We're gonna compare it in the review, which will be coming up on the channel, to some aperture lights and some other stuff, and see how it works. Okay, we've done some testing. We've got a great head start on this video, which I'm looking forward to. This thing is at 1% right now. Our camera's set to f9, ISO 800, 1/50th of a shutter. So it's really bright, and I can't wait to get that video done. I'll have a link to this and everything we talked about in the description. Let me know what you thought of this. The quality was much lower. We're just kind of messing around, walking around, showing stuff we're doing here in the studio. This is one of 2 shots that was lit. Everything else is just using the office lights. So I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any suggestions, or if you just straight up hate this type of video. At any rate, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.